What's going on, guys? It's Coach Shell here with our very first training session. Today we're going to be training our lower body. We're going to be focusing on our quads, our glutes, and our hamstrings. Stay tuned so I can show you a customized workout to grow the bottom half. Alrighty guys, so the first exercise that we're going to be doing are going to be hip thrusts and case glute bridges. These ones are a really awesome way to target your glute medius in a stretched position, and I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about when I say stretched position.
Alrighty guys, so before we even add any weight, let's go over form. Form is super duper important to make sure that the workout is effective. I never want you to prioritize weight over form. Always form over weight. And so for this exercise, you're gonna need some type of like table or your couch or a bench. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and sit down on the ground first. And we're gonna make sure that our shoulder blades are gonna be the ones that are holding on to the bench or the couch or whatever you're using for this exercise. And I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. So you can see when I come on to my platform, it's nothing but my shoulder that's on the platform. In order to target our glutes more, we wanna make sure that our legs are at a 90-degree angle. And a cool trick to make sure that your legs are at a 90-degree angle is if you put your fingers out and you line up the heel of your foot with the tips of your fingers, that generally will be a 90-degree angle and we'll be able to target that glute and that hamstring more, okay? And so now we have our 90-degree angle, our shoulder blades are on our platform. Now we're gonna go ahead and go into the lengthened position of the exercise. So we're gonna go ahead, first, what you wanna do is you wanna tuck your chin. You don't want your chin to be looking all over the place. You want it to be nice and tucked and still. And I'm gonna tell you why we want our chin to be tucked. So now we've tucked our chin. What we're gonna go ahead and do now is we're gonna go ahead and hip thrust up. And when we're coming up, we just wanna stop right here. We don't wanna be all the way in the air. We just wanna be right here. And if your chin is tucked, you'll be able to stop there, okay? So this is gonna be for the hip thrust. The hip thrust is gonna be a lengthened position. So we're gonna go all the way down. And then we're gonna come right back up. That's one. We're gonna go all the way down. And all that pressure should be coming from your heels. That's two, and I'm gonna do one more. Three. So that's gonna be our hip thrust. Now, we're gonna go ahead and go into our case glute bridges. So the case glute bridges are really nice to do to target the glutes in a shortened position. So all of that tension is right in your glutes, and this is how we're gonna do that. So as far as the setup goes, same game as hip thrust. We're gonna make sure our legs are at that 90-degree angle. Perfect. Our shoulder blades are on the platform. The only difference with the case glute bridge is that we're not gonna go all the way down because we're keeping the exercise in a shortened position. And I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. So back here, chin tucked, 90-degree angle. I'm gonna go ahead and hip thrust up. So with a regular hip thrust, you would go all the way down, but we're not gonna do that this time. This time, we're gonna hip thrust up, and we're gonna stay in a really short range of motion. So look at my hips. 1, 2, 3, just like that. And I like to combine a hip thrust and a case bridge together, just so I can get that lengthened position and I get that shortened position for my glutes. And I really feel the resistance there and I really get that burn. We're really looking for that burn. So now that we've gone over form, let's go ahead and add some weight to it so we can have some more resistance. So now we're gonna go ahead and incorporate a dumbbell. So I just have a 20-pound dumbbell here. That dumbbell, this is a hip hinging movement. So you wanna make sure that that dumbbell is like right on top of your hips, nice and comfortably. So what I like to do is I'll put my feet down, roll the dumbbell over, pop it right here where I feel comfortable, right on my hips. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring my feet right back up. And I'm gonna go ahead and measure them, make sure it's at 90 degrees. Perfect. I'm gonna scoot a little bit down there so my shoulder blades are on the platform. I'm gonna go ahead and tuck my chin in, and I'm gonna put together the hip thrust and the case bridges, all right? So let's get ready and go. So I'm holding the weight nice and sturdy. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was the hip thrust. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you what the case glute bridge looks like with the weight on it as well too. So same setup like I said. We're gonna go ahead and thrust our hips up, and we're just gonna do a shortened position for the case glute bridge. So we're gonna go down, stop, come back up. Down, stop, come back up. And all of that force should be coming through your heels so that we're really targeting the glute area, okay? Alrighty, let's go ahead and put it all together now. All right, guys, now that we've gone over the tips, we've gone over the form, we've gone over how we should hold the weight, now we're gonna go ahead and put the workout into play. So what I would have you do if you're at home is I would have you do 3 sets of this exercise, and we're set it. So superset basically just means we're gonna do 2 exercises consecutively, and the superset is gonna be with the hip thrusts and the case bridges. I know I'm kind of like spitting a lot of new terminology at you guys, but I'm gonna explain what I'm doing while I'm doing the movement. So we'll go ahead and start with our 8 hip thrusts. Pop that there, bring our legs back, 90 degrees, shoulder blades on there, chin is tucked. So we're gonna go ahead and do our 8 hip thrusts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're gonna superset it. We're gonna go right into those case glute bridges. 8 of them, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you want a little razzle dazzle, go ahead and hold for 10 seconds.